I'm Eli Holt. I'm 30, born and raised in Boise, Idaho, and let's just get it out there, I was never the favorite. That was always Bradley, my little brother. He's 26 now, 4 years younger. But somehow he always snagged the spotlight. I left home at 18, nobody pushed me out. I just knew I'd never get what Bradley did. He got everything. Unconditional support, endless do-overs. A safety net so thick he could belly flop off a building and land on a stack of cash. Me, I made my own way. Stocked shelves at Walmart in Meridian, drove deliveries, patched up people's houses from Craigslist ads. I never asked my parents for a dime. Didn't want to work at their real estate firm either. Didn't want their pity or their second-hand help. Bradley, though, he was golden. He bailed on Boise State after 2 semesters, said the energy wasn't right, tried being a personal trainer, then a social media guy, then a craft beer blogger. None of it stuck. Each time he crashed and burned, our parents swept in with open arms and even wider wallets. He just needs to find his passion, they'd say. He's got potential. Yeah, well, I had potential too. Nobody seemed to notice. If you're into stories about cold-blooded revenge and wild plot twists, hit that like button and subscribe. Seriously, new stories drop here every day, each one crazier than the last. So December 2023 rolls around. I'm 28, my parents call a family meeting. I drive up from my shoebox place in Nampa, thinking maybe it's about Christmas or Grandma's health. Nope. We sit down in their living room, and my dad pulls out a manila folder. We've decided to make an investment in the family's future, he says. My mom's beaming at Bradley like he just got into Harvard. Bradley's opening a gourmet food truck. My dad's all excited. Modern American cuisine, local ingredients, craft sodas, it's brilliant. I wait for them to ask me what I think. They never do. We're giving him $120,000, my mom says, as an advance on his inheritance. I blink. An advance? Yes, my dad says, all proud. We believe in him. This is his moment. Bradley's grinning like he won the lottery. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. I won't let you down. I just sit there. What am I supposed to say? I've worked 12-hour shifts, lived paycheck to paycheck, never once asked for help. Bradley's 24 and gets 6 figures for a food truck he'll probably ditch in half a year. Then my mom turns to me. We have something for you too, Eli. She hands me an envelope. Inside? A single scratch-off lottery ticket. $5. Merry Christmas, Bradley laughs. Who knows, maybe you'll get rich. My dad chuckles. My mom smiles. To them it's a joke, a punchline. I just put the ticket in my pocket, thanked them, and walked out. 2 days later, I'm sitting in my apartment staring at that ticket. I almost toss it, but something, curiosity, spite, I don't know, makes me scratch it. First row, $signs. Second row, more $signs. I keep going. When I finish, I stare at the numbers for a good minute. $30 million. After taxes, about $20.6 million. I don't jump, don't scream, don't call anyone. I just sit there holding a $5 joke that just rewrote my entire life. And I know right then and there I'm not telling them. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Next morning, I call the Idaho Lottery Commission. Win confirmed. They tell me I can claim it through a trust and stay anonymous. Idaho lets you do that if you use a legal rep. Perfect. I don't even go back to Boise. Instead, I drive 8 hours to Austin, Texas. Always wanted to leave Idaho anyway. Austin feels right, big enough to disappear, but not so big you feel lost. I find a law firm that handles asset protection and estate planning. Richard Morales is the attorney. 50s, sharp, doesn't waste time. I tell him I won the lottery and want to stay anonymous. He barely blinks. We'll set up an irrevocable trust. You're the beneficiary, but the trust claims the prize. Your name stays off the public record. We'll use a registered agent in Idaho to file the claim. I ask how long it'll take. 2 weeks, he says. Maybe 3. I hand him $8,000 in cash as a retainer. After that, I rent a 1-bedroom in South Austin near Zilker Park. Nothing fancy. Furnished month to month, $1,200. And just like that, my life starts over. I wiped out my Facebook and Instagram, changed my number. Told my landlord in Nampa that I was moving for work and wouldn't be back. Didn't mention a word to my parents. Didn't tell Bradley. Didn't tell anyone. I knew staying anonymous mattered more than anything now. Especially in 2024 when one post or a random tag could blow up your life. That was all the protection I had left. 3 weeks later, the money landed, $20.6 million after taxes. Richard helped me set up a portfolio. Index funds, treasury bonds, a few real estate trusts. We opened a business account for a logistics consulting LLC I wanted to start. "You're doing this right," he told me. "Most people burn through their lottery winnings in 5 years. You're thinking long-term." I nodded. I'd always thought long-term. I just never had the means to do anything about it. For 2 months, I kept off the grid. No posts, no reaching out. I went to the gym, read, walked around Ladybird Lake. It felt weird having all that money and not doing anything with it. But I wasn't ready for attention. I was still trying to wrap my head around what had happened. Then everything shifted. March 2024, I got a text from my mom. I'd kept my old number active, forwarding calls to a voicemail I never checked, but texts still slipped through. "Eli, honey, we need to talk. Please call me." "It's important," I ignored it. 2 days later, my dad texted, "Eli, we know about the lottery. We're so proud of you. Let's celebrate as a family." My stomach dropped. I called Richard. "How did they find out?" "Could have been the bank," he said, "or someone at the Idaho Lottery Commission. These things happen. The important thing is your name's not on any public docs. They can guess, but they can't prove it." "They already know," I said. "They just texted me." Richard paused. "Then someone broke confidentiality, but you don't owe them anything. You don't owe anyone an explanation." I thanked him and hung up. The messages kept coming all week. My mom sent long texts about missing me, pride, how she always knew I'd do something big. My dad's messages were short, businesslike. "We should talk about managing finances as a family. Let's plan a meeting." Bradley didn't text, he called. I didn't pick up. He left a voicemail. "Yo, Eli, congrats, man. That's insane. Look, I'm happy for you, but I'll be real. I'm in a bad spot with the food truck. Could use some advice. Or maybe a loan. Just temporary. We're family, right? Call me back." I deleted it. Then the emails started. Mom sent one with the subject, "Family comes first." She wrote about Bradley struggling, the food truck tanking, how they'd all sacrificed to keep us together. Sacrificed. That word stuck. I thought about all the years working jobs I hated, living in apartments with busted heaters, eating ramen for dinner 4 nights a week. The time I asked my parents for $2,000 to fix my car and my dad said, "You're a grown man, Eli. Figure it out." Meanwhile, Bradley got a brand new Ford F-150, paid for by them. Ski trips to Sun Valley, designer sneakers, downtown Boise apartment, and now they wanted to talk about sacrifice. I ignored the emails, the texts, the calls. By April, Bradley's food truck was going down. I didn't hear it from him. Somebody on LinkedIn messaged me. "Hey man, saw your brother's truck shut down for a week. Health code violation or something." Rough break. I checked Yelp, 2.7 stars. Complaints about weird hours, overpriced sandwiches, rude service. 1 review. The owner acted like we were lucky to be there. Sounded like Bradley. In May, my mom called from a different number. I picked up thinking it was my bank, "Eli, thank God," she said. "We've been trying to reach you for months. I've been busy," I said. "We need to talk about Bradley. He's in trouble. The food truck's drowning. He owes money everywhere. We've helped as much as we can, but how much have you helped?" I asked. She hesitated. "We've put in another $40,000. So you've given him $160,000 total. We're his parents, Eli. We had to. And what did you give me?" Silence. "I have to go," I said. "Eli, please." I hung up. That was the last time I spoke to any of them. Summer rolled in and I stayed put in Austin. I signed a lease on a 2-bedroom in Clarksville. Nothing fancy, just comfortable enough. Rent ran me about $2,300 a month. I picked up a used 2019 Honda Accord with 60,000 miles on it. Paid $12,000 cash. I wasn't interested in turning heads or proving anything with a car. I dove into my logistics consulting business. It wasn't a cover story. I'd spent years in delivery work, and honestly, I understood supply chains better than plenty of MBAs. I started reaching out to small businesses around Austin, offering to audit their delivery systems and help them cut costs. People started talking. 3 months in, I had 6 clients. By September, I'd doubled that. Money wasn't the point. I already had more than enough. I just needed purpose. Prove to myself that I could actually build something real, something that wasn't handed to me. Back in Boise, Bradley's life was going up in flames. I didn't need updates, didn't ask for them, but my mom kept sending these long, desperate emails. I'd skim them, archive them, move on. In June, she said Bradley closed the food truck for renovations. July, he lost his commercial space, couldn't pay rent. August, they took out a second mortgage on the house to cover his debts. "We're not asking you for money," she wrote. "We just want you to know what's happening. We're still your family." But that's exactly what it was. Every email was a veiled ask, every update a guilt trip. They thought if they kept me in the loop, I'd feel obligated, that I'd cave. I didn't. Bradley tried a different route. In September, he messaged me on LinkedIn, the only account I hadn't nuked. "Eli, I know we haven't talked in a while. I messed up. The food truck was a disaster. I get it now. I wasn't ready. But I learned a lot and I'm working on something new. I just need a small investment to get started. $50,000, I'll pay you back with interest. I promise." I read it twice, then blocked him. Bradley never learned. He didn't see the food truck as a failure on his part, just bad luck. He figured the next thing would work because he wanted it to. That's how he'd always been, and our parents backed him every time. By October, I heard through the grapevine that Bradley sold his truck, not the food truck. His actual Ford F-150, the one our parents bought him, to pay off credit card debt. In November, my dad sent an email. No fluff, no guilt. Just, "Eli, your mother and I are in financial trouble. We refinanced the house to help Bradley, but the payments are too high. We may lose the property. I'm asking you as my son to help us. Not for Bradley, for us." I stared at that email for a long time. Part of me wanted to write back and say, "You picked Bradley over me again and again. Now you live with it." But I didn't write anything. I just archived it and went for a run. December marked a year since that lottery ticket joke. I thought about everything that changed. I'd gone from scraping by in a cramped studio to running a growing business in a city I actually liked. I had money, I had peace. Meanwhile, my family was sinking. I didn't feel victorious. I wasn't smug. I just felt tired. Tired of the whole mess. Tired of still feeling the weight of their expectations from 1,000 miles away. Around Christmas, Bradley made one last attempt. He sent a handwritten letter to my old address in Nampa. The landlord forwarded it to my Austin P.O. box. 3 pages. He apologized for everything. Said he'd been arrogant, took our parents for granted, took me for granted. Said he understood why I left, why I didn't help. Said he didn't deserve forgiveness. Then in the last paragraph, he asked for money again. "I'm not asking for a handout," he wrote. "I'm asking for a chance to prove I've changed. $10,000. That's all I need to get back on my feet. I'll sign a contract. I'll pay you back. Just give me one chance." I folded the letter, put it in a drawer, and never replied. January 2025, my mom sent a final email. Subject line, "Goodbye, Eli." She wrote, "I don't know if you'll read this. I don't even know if you care anymore. But I need to tell you that we lost the house. The bank foreclosed last week. Your father and I are moving into a rental in Nampa. Bradley is staying with a friend. I don't know what else to say. I keep thinking about that Christmas when we gave you the lottery ticket. I keep thinking about how we laughed. I'm not laughing anymore. I hope you're happy, Eli. Really, I do. I read your email 3 times, waiting for the guilt to kick in. Waiting for something, anything, to hit me. But it didn't. They lost their house. Bradley lost it all, and I just stood by. But that's not the whole story. I didn't do nothing. I protected myself. I built a life. I refused to be their safety net after nearly 30 years of being invisible in that house. Some people would say that's cold. Some would say I should have helped. But those people weren't there. They didn't watch their parents pour everything into the golden child, while the other one worked 3 jobs just to get by. They never got a $5 lottery ticket as a joke while their brother walked away with a 6-figure investment. Austin's skyline glowed through my window. I closed my laptop, went to the kitchen, made coffee, and stared out at the city. That's when it hit me. I didn't owe them a thing. No money, no forgiveness, not even an explanation. I'd spent my whole life trying to earn their respect. And here's the ugly truth. Some people will never see your worth no matter what you do. So I stopped trying. By February 2025, I stopped checking for family messages. I stopped thinking about them every day. My business was doing well. 15 active clients. I'd hired 2 part-time contractors to help with audits and route optimization. Revenue hit about $8,000 a month. I didn't really need the money, but it felt good to earn it. I started donating to causes I cared about. Youth programs in Austin, scholarships for kids who didn't have family backing. I gave anonymously through the trust Richard set up. I didn't want recognition. I just wanted to help people who knew what it was like to be overlooked. In March, I bought an older house in South Austin. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, decent backyard. Not fancy, just solid. Cost me about $10,000. I paid cash. No mortgage, no debt. Owning something outright felt better than any luxury car or designer watch ever could. I started traveling, nothing wild. Weekend trips to San Antonio, Houston, New Orleans. I'd never had the time or money before, so I took it slow and enjoyed every minute. One afternoon in April, I was at a coffee shop near Barton Springs and ran into Trevor, a guy I used to work with at Walmart back in Meridian. 2019, he was in Austin for a conference. "Holy man, is that you?" he said. We caught up for an hour. He asked what I was doing. I told him about the consulting business. He seemed impressed. Then he asked about my family. "How's your brother? I saw he had that food truck thing." "It didn't work out," I said. Trevor nodded. "Yeah, I heard it closed. Tough break, but at least he had family support, right? Not everyone gets that." I didn't answer, just smiled and changed the subject. When we said goodbye, he told me, "You seem good, man. Like, really good. Whatever you're doing, keep at it." That stuck with me. I did feel good. Not because my family was struggling, but because I'd finally stopped letting their mess run my life. In May, I got a message from a cousin I hadn't heard from in years. She lived out in Coeur d'Alene and didn't know about the lottery. "Hey Eli, long time. I heard your parents moved to Nampa. Everything okay? Just checking in." She sounded genuinely concerned. I replied, "Thanks for asking. I'm doing well. Moved to Texas, focusing on my own thing. Hope you're great." She sent a thumbs up emoji. That was it. No drama, no judgment, just a normal conversation. It reminded me not everyone in my family was like my parents or Bradley. By summer, I'd settled into my new life. Joined a rec soccer league, started learning guitar, volunteered at a food bank on weekends. I wasn't out to reinvent myself or prove anything. I was just living. For the first time ever, I wasn't carrying around resentment or anyone else's expectations. Sometimes I'd think about my family. I wondered if Bradley ever found work, or if my parents had gotten used to their smaller life. But I didn't reach out. Didn't check their social media. Didn't ask around. The silence wasn't punishment, it was protection. And honestly, maybe it was the only language they'd ever really understand. Then in August, one last message came in. "Bradley again?" New email. I'd blocked the old one. "Eli, I don't expect you to respond. I don't even expect you to read this, but I need to say it anyway. You were right about everything. I used to be that spoiled kid who thought the world owed me something. My parents let it slide too. Now I'm out here working construction in Caldwell. It's tough. I'm broke most days, but at least I'm figuring out what it actually means to earn something. I'm not reaching out for help. I just wanted you to know I finally understand. I'm sorry." After I read his message twice, I sat there. Part of me wanted to trust him. Part of me wanted to just reply, "Good luck." But I didn't. Apologies don't wipe away years of disrespect. And just because someone changes doesn't mean you owe them forgiveness. I archived the message. I moved on. Nearly 2 years later, I'm 30 now, it's October 2025. I live in a city that feels like home. I run a business that matters. I've got friends who actually respect me. My life finally feels like it belongs to me. I never talked about the lottery. Never flaunted it, never sent my family a dime, never bothered explaining myself. For once, silence didn't mean I was weak. It meant I'd found some kind of peace. My silence said everything. So did my absence. And finding my own way, that was my real revenge. People will probably call me cold. They'll say family should come first or that money can't replace blood. But they don't know what it's like to grow up as the invisible kid, watching your parents give everything to someone else while you get left with scraps and are still expected to be grateful. Winning the lottery didn't turn me into someone new. It just gave me the freedom to stop chasing approval that was never coming. And honestly, I don't miss them. I don't miss the guilt trips. I don't miss the constant comparisons or feeling like I had to beg for the love that Bradley got without even trying. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not bitter. I'm just free. And honestly, that's the best revenge I can imagine. If you like this story, hit like and drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. See you soon.